who this fight will be aired this Saturday night on Impact Network, taking on D'Angelo Swaby. The fight coming from Tampa, Florida. How you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing great. Great to be on here, Mark.
Good to have you too. I don't know. Your sound's going a little in and out. I don't know if you're messing with something, but you good there with your phone?
Now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got this fight coming up. It's going to be aired Saturday night on Impact Network, taking on D'Angelo Swaby. What are your thoughts on this fight, this being your second professional fight?
My thoughts are we're just keeping the train rolling, keeping it moving. Been in a tough training camp out there with Luis Ortiz, so I'm just getting back from Miami. Got this week to work with my coach, and now we're going right back into Florida to, put some of the hard work to use.
Well, talk about that for a second. I've done some research on you. Very early in your pro career, you've been sparring with guys like Joe Joyce and like you just mentioned, Luis Ortiz, who's getting ready for a fight as well. How's that experience been? Been sparring with some of these big name guys in the heavyweight division.
Well, I know when you're in there with some of the biggest punchers, you get the real sense of what it's like to be a true heavyweight, a true professional heavyweight. So it's been nothing but growth and learning experience, whether we have days where we take it up a notch or if we have days where we're working on certain things or they're trying to, get a certain feel for the sparring. For me, it's just been nothing but just go, go, go. I'm very fortunate to just be amongst the best this early off in my career. It keeps me knowing where I'm at, and it all lets me, get a feel for what it's like to be on that top level.
And about 6'4", 225, 230 pounds. Obviously, you have the build for the part as the quote modern heavyweight. What have you got? You're fighting, like I said, guys like Ortiz, who's 6'5", 240. Joe Joyce is a big guy. Is that the way you see it? It's these big heavyweights, and what can you learn in terms of like the size and everything dealing with that?
I believe after like 220, or after 205, most of these guys can hit. It's all about, technique, time, and how you apply your skill. Fortunately, I've been working with my strength and conditioning team too, Coach Larry Wade and Paul Longworth. Guys, have helped me, mature into my body coming from the amateurs as much, So I've had some time with them now. And just getting in there and feeling what it is like, I think it's about, you got to have that heart too, Like you look at a guy like Evander who, arguably the best cruiserweight of, all time, moving up to heavyweight and, him being in there with some of the top heavyweights, if you not call him one of the top heavyweights, ever to lace up the gloves. So for me, it's all about mentality, You got to make sure you got to be for the part, but you got to know pretty much how to skin the cat, and also, at the end of the day.
And obviously the champions now with Fury, who's like 6'9", 270, and Joshua is 6'5", 250 plus. Do you see yourself, maybe being 235, 240 when it's time to fight against the more elite competition?
Yeah, no, it all depends on like what my team feels like. It's like the best adjustment, how I feel carrying the weight, and how I feel performing. So you want to be at your optimal performance. You look at a guy like Andy Ruiz, and people be like, well, he don't look like the part at all. But that's where he performs at. So bring your best to the table, and let it go from there. Let your skills kind of back the rest up.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, being from Tulsa, Oklahoma. To me, I don't know if it's your phone that's a little crackly in the background, or but being from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Talk about your early boxing career in Tulsa.
Oh man, so my early boxing career in Tulsa, man, it was shaky because Oklahoma's not a boxing state. You don't have many guys coming out of there. Uh, not a lot of work, especially for heavyweights or anything like that. I mean, for me, it was just a lot about moving around and getting to go to these other states and figuring out, where I stacked up there. And then whenever I would come back, whether it be from like the Olympic Training Center or whatever, I would take what I learned on the road and apply it to myself. I was training myself out there in Oklahoma. Not too many people know about that, but I'll continue to preach it. I was going to national tournaments and I would meet certain coaches at those tournaments and they would help me, get through to the next competition level. But whenever it was time to really, after I taught myself as much as I could possibly learn to do on my own, it was time to, come out to a place like Vegas and really, take it serious. So I was a school teacher. I was doing everything else but boxing back home, but now it's just full time. I'm in the gym.
I'm just trying to think, I don't know if this gentleman's, I know his career, he started off about 15-0, but I know Tommymorrison's son was getting a little bit of a name for himself. I would imagine your paths probably have crossed at some point.
That would be cool if we could.
I'm just saying, have you guys sparred or been in the gym together?
No, actually, like the whatever his defense or whatever, every time I've seemed to need it sparring or something like that, there's always been something come up with him.
Gotcha.
So I mean, I can't say what it is, but definitely could have used his help back then when I was getting ready for the national tournaments. But everybody's busy, man, and so it is.
Talking with undefeated heavyweight Jeremiah Milton, who fights. His fight can be seen on Impact Television this Saturday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You mentioned going to Las Vegas. Your management team, I know Mike Leonardi, he's stationed out there, and Rick Torres, Victory Sports Management. You got some good guys behind you. What are your thoughts on that?
Thank you so much. Mike has been, really pushing hard for me. Victory Sports, they've really been trying to put me in those better positions to, make it feel official and, to know that I'm an actual professional now. And going into my second fight, I'm ready to let the things go and let the action speak for itself.
D'Angelo Swaby, what can you tell us about him? I see he's 1-1. Obviously, he's 1-1. He's gotten knocked out. I was at his last fight against Norman Neely. Got knocked out in the first round of that fight. What do you know about him?
You know what? He's a late replacement. We had a guy, in my opinion, look more aesthetically pleasing. As far as competition, I want to be around. I want to push myself. I want to, get in and, show what I hope he shows up to fight. No offense to him, saying that he's a late replacement or whatever, but, I don't know too much about him. All I know is I prepared as much as I can. And, we got to fight.
How obviously with boxing starting to pick back up after the pandemic, and obviously the pandemic's still going on and everything going on. How active do you plan to be in 2021?
You said how 21?
How active? How active would you like to be?
We plan to be a lot more active this year, but everybody did, and that's just the way of the world right now. So for keeping the train rolling, and getting this thing off the ground, so I'm new in the game, but you know me by my work. I'm around nothing but the best, and you'll continue to see me, performing at one of the top levels. So I want to be active. I want to make sure that keep my face.
This being your second fight, and it's going to be seen by a pretty wide audience on Impact Television. What are your thoughts on that? how important is it for you to make an impression on the fans that are watching? They say, "Hey, I'm this new face in the heavyweight division. It's time to watch me."
Oh yeah, that's always important. But you don't want to put those extra pressures on yourself because I know where I'm going. I know what I'm headed to. So for me, whether I hope you tune in because that's the name of the game. We need, I need that support. But I'm going in there tunnel vision. You know what I'm saying, and I got to do what I got to do.
There you have it. Anything you want to say to the fans out there before we see you? The fight's Friday night, but we're going to see you on Saturday night on Impact Television, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. What do you want to tell the fans out there?
You know what, guys? I appreciate everybody tuning in. I appreciate everybody keeping up with me. You guys can check me out on my social media, J Milton 1921 from Tulsa, Oklahoma, aka Black Wall Street. And in these tough times, you know what I'm saying? Let's try not to be so judgmental of each other, and let's stick together and keep positive energy going. That's my you always talk about positivity.
Couldn't say any better myself. Well, my last question is always, what's the social media? But you beat me to it. So there you have it. A good young up-and-coming heavyweight, 1-0, 1 knockout. Looks for win number 2 this Saturday night. You'll be able to see it on Impact Television. Jeremiah Milton, we look forward to watching you on Saturday, and we'll talk to you along the way.
All right, stay blessed.